August is the single richest fruit month of the entire year, and most people only ever eat 2 or 3 of what's actually available right now. Today I'm walking you through 15 fruits that are at their peak this month, what they taste like, why late summer is exactly when you should be eating them, the health benefits packed into each one, and how to pick the best one at the store or off the vine. Some of these you'll already know. A few of them might completely surprise you. Let's get into it. 1. Peaches. Peaches hit their absolute stride in August across most of the United States. The fruit develops what's called full slip at peak ripeness, meaning the flesh separates cleanly from the pit, a sign growers and shoppers both look for. Peaches are heavy feeders and thrive in USDA hardiness zones 6 through 9, needing full sun and well-drained soil to develop that signature sugar content. Nutritionally, a single medium peach delivers meaningful vitamin C and vitamin A, along with potassium that supports healthy blood pressure regulation. The fuzzy skin also carries a modest dose of fiber, so eating it whole rather than peeling it adds nutritional value. When shopping, look for fruit that gives slightly to gentle pressure near the stem and has a strong, sweet aroma. A peach with no smell at all was almost certainly picked too early and shipped green. If you're growing your own, August is also prime time to watch for brown rot, a fungal issue that thrives in the humidity of late summer. Thinning fruit clusters earlier in the season helps prevent it. Store ripe peaches at room temperature and only refrigerate once they're fully soft, since cold temperatures halt the ripening process and can leave the flesh mealy. 2. Watermelon. Watermelon is arguably the defining fruit of August cookouts, and for good reason. It's over 90% water, making it one of the most hydrating foods you can eat during the hottest stretch of summer. It also delivers a surprising amount of lycopene, the same antioxidant compound found in tomatoes, and some varieties actually contain more lycopene per serving than raw tomatoes do. Watermelon plants are heat-loving vines that need consistent moisture through fruit development, then a slight pullback on watering in the final 2 weeks before harvest to concentrate sugars. To pick a ripe one at the store, look for a creamy yellow field spot on the underside. That's where the melon rested on the ground and ripened in the sun, along with a dull rather than shiny rind and a deep, hollow sound when thumped. Watermelon rind, often thrown away, is actually edible and can be pickled or stir-fried, using nearly the entire fruit with almost no waste. 3. Cantaloupe. Cantaloupe ripens on the vine in a way that's easy to judge by smell alone. A ripe one gives off a sweet, musky fragrance from the blossom end, even before you cut into it. This melon is exceptionally high in vitamin A thanks to its orange flesh, along with a strong dose of vitamin C, making it one of the more nutrient-dense melons available. In the garden, cantaloupe vines need warm soil and steady heat, which is exactly why August, following weeks of summer warmth, produces the sweetest fruit of the season. A ripe cantaloupe will also naturally separate from the vine with light pressure, leaving a smooth, full-slip scar. If you have to tug or cut it free, it was picked early and won't ripen much further off the vine. Refrigerate cut cantaloupe promptly, since its high moisture content and mild sugars make it a common vehicle for bacterial growth if left at room temperature too long. 4. Plums. Plums reach peak season in August, offering one of the more tart-forward flavor profiles among summer stone fruits, with skin that ranges from deep purple to red to golden depending on variety. They're a notably good source of vitamin K, which plays a role in normal blood clotting, and dried plums prunes are well known for supporting digestive regularity thanks to both fiber and natural sorbitol content. Plum trees are relatively low maintenance compared to peaches, tolerating a wider range of soil conditions, though they still need full sun and benefit from thinning young fruit to prevent overloaded, snapping branches. A ripe plum should yield slightly to thumb pressure at the stem end. Unlike peaches, plums will continue to soften after picking if left at room temperature for a few days. European-type plums, which tend to ripen a bit later than Japanese varieties, are often the ones still coming into season through late August. 5. Nectarines. Nectarines are essentially a smooth-skinned peach, genetically nearly identical, differing by a single recessive gene that suppresses the fuzzy skin. They ripen on the same late summer timeline as peaches and share a similar nutrient profile, including solid vitamin C and potassium content, though nectarines tend to have a slightly more concentrated, tangier flavor because they're sugars, diluted by the fuzz-producing compounds. Because they lack that protective fuzz, nectarines are more prone to skin blemishes and bruising, which is why growers often net or bag developing fruit in orchards prone to pest pressure. When selecting nectarines, the same "give near the stem plus fragrance" rule from peaches applies. In the garden, nectarine trees are slightly more susceptible to certain fungal diseases than peaches specifically because of that bare skin. So good airflow between branches during pruning really matters in humid August weather. 6. Figs. Fresh figs have a short, intense season, and August is when many varieties, including the popular brown turkey and black mission types, produce their main, second crop of the year. Figs are unusual in that they don't ripen at all once picked, so timing the harvest matters enormously. A ripe fig will droop slightly on its stem and may show a small split or bead of nectar at the base. Nutritionally, figs are one of the better plant sources of calcium among fresh fruits, along with a healthy dose of fiber that supports digestion. Fig trees actually enjoy relatively poor, well-drained soil and can struggle with too much fertility, which pushes leafy growth at the expense of fruit. Because fresh figs are extremely perishable, often lasting only a couple of days in the refrigerator, this is a fruit far better suited to a backyard tree or a farmer's market stand than a long grocery supply chain, which is exactly why so many people have never tasted one truly fresh. 7. Blackberries. Blackberries ripen from mid-July through August depending on the variety and region, with many ever-bearing types producing their heaviest flush right in the middle of the month. They're one of the most fiber-dense fruits available, along with a strong concentration of vitamin C and anthocyanins, the deep purple-black pigments linked to antioxidant activity. Blackberry canes are biennial, meaning the canes that fruit this year won't fruit again, so pruning out spent canes after harvest keeps the patch productive for the following season. Unlike some berries, blackberries don't continue ripening after picking, so color is the only reliable cue. A fully black berry that releases easily from the stem is ready, while any berry with red or green sections should stay on the cane. Wild blackberry brambles are also common along field edges and trail sides in August, making this one of the more accessible fruits for casual foraging. 8. Blueberries. Blueberries wrap up their main harvest window in many regions right around August, particularly late-season cultivars bred to extend the picking season past the more common June and July peak. They're consistently ranked among the highest antioxidant fruits per serving, largely due to anthocyanin content, and offer a solid dose of vitamin K and manganese as well. Blueberry bushes require distinctly acidic soil, typically a pH between 4.5 and 5.5, which is lower than almost any other common fruit crop, a detail that trips up a lot of home gardeners who plant them in regular garden soil and wonder why yields are poor. Ripe blueberries should be uniformly deep blue with a light silvery bloom on the skin. Any berries with a reddish tinge need more time. Freshly picked blueberries also freeze exceptionally well without much loss of texture, making August a smart month to stock up for smoothies through the winter. 9. Raspberries. Fall-bearing raspberry varieties, sometimes called everbearing, begin their second, often larger crop in August, distinct from the summer-bearing types that already finished back in June or July. Raspberries are extraordinarily high in fiber for their size, along with a meaningful amount of vitamin C and manganese. The canes prefer full sun and consistent moisture, And because the fruit is so delicate, raspberries are picked by gently pulling the ripe berry away from its white core, which stays behind on the plant. A fruit that doesn't release easily isn't ripe yet. Raspberries are also one of the most perishable fruits on this list, often lasting only a day or two after picking, which is part of why they command a premium price compared to sturdier fruits shipped long distances. 10. Grapes. Table grapes begin ripening in earnest in August across warmer growing regions, with early varieties like Flame Seedless and Concord reaching peak sweetness this month. Grapes offer a good amount of vitamin K and a class of antioxidants called flavonoids, concentrated particularly in darker-skinned varieties. Grapevines need a long, hot growing season to fully develop sugar, which is why August heat is directly responsible for the flavor difference between an early and a late season grape. Unlike stone fruits, grapes do not ripen further once cut from the vine, so color and taste at harvest are final. A good rule when buying is to taste one from the bunch, since sweetness can vary even within a single cluster. Concord grapes specifically, with their thick skins and musky sweet flavor, are an August specialty in the northeastern and midwestern United States, and are the classic grape used for juice and jelly. 11. Honeydew melon. Honeydew is often overshadowed by cantaloupe and watermelon, but August is exactly when it reaches peak quality, with its pale green flesh developing the highest sugar content of the melon family. It's a strong source of vitamin C and potassium, and because of its high water content, it's another excellent hydrating choice during hot weather. Unlike cantaloupe, a ripe honeydew doesn't have an obvious fragrance, so shoppers instead look for a waxy rather than fuzzy rind and a slightly soft, sticky-feeling blossom end. Honeydew vines need a longer, warmer season than most other melons to fully mature, which is part of why they're less commonly grown in cooler climates and more associated with the deep summer harvest window. 12. Pluots and Apiariums. Pluots and apiariums are hybrid stone fruits, plum-apricot crosses bred to combine the best traits of both parents, and August is prime season for many of the popular varieties, including Dapple Dandy and Flavor Grenade. These hybrids often carry higher natural sugar content than either parent fruit, along with the vitamin A and vitamin C typical of stone fruits. Because they're grafted, hybrid trees require specific rootstock and pollination partners to fruit reliably, which is part of why they're more commonly found at specialty orchards or farmers markets than in a typical backyard. Ripeness cues follow the plum model: slight give near the stem, deep color development, and a sweet aroma. And like plums, they'll continue to soften slightly after picking. 13. Pawpaws. Pawpaw is North America's largest native fruit, and one of the most overlooked entries on this list, ripening in a short window from late August into September depending on latitude. The flavor is often described as a cross between banana, mango, and custard, and the texture is genuinely custard-like rather than firm. Pawpaws are unusually high in vitamin C and potassium for a temperate climate fruit, closer in nutrient density to some tropical fruits than to a typical apple or pear. The trees grow natively in the understory of eastern forests and actually prefer some shade, especially when young, which is different from nearly every other fruit tree on this list. Because pawpaws bruise and spoil within just a few days of ripening and don't ship well at all, they're essentially never found in grocery stores. This is a fruit you either grow yourself, forage, or find at a very specific regional farmer's market. 14. Elderberries. Elderberries ripen to their deep purple-black color in August, hanging in heavy, drooping clusters on shrubs that often grow wild along fence lines, ditches, and forest edges. They've become well known for their traditional use in immune-supporting syrups, largely tied to their concentrated anthocyanin and vitamin C content. One important note: raw elderberries and other parts of the plant contain compounds that can cause stomach upset, so they're always cooked before eating, never consumed raw off the shrub. Elderberry shrubs are extremely low maintenance and tolerate poor soil, making them a common wild forage find in late summer, though correct identification matters since there are look-alike plants with toxic berries. 15. Ground cherries. Ground cherries close out the list as one of the least familiar entries, a small, golden fruit wrapped in a papery husk, closely related to tomatillos, and ripening steadily through August. The flavor is a distinctive mix of pineapple, vanilla, and tomato, and unlike most fruit on this list, ground cherries actually signal their own ripeness by falling off the plant naturally once ready, husk intact. They provide a solid dose of vitamin C along with some vitamin A, and the plant itself is a relative of the tomato family, sharing similar warm season growing needs. Because the husk protects the fruit, ground cherries actually store far longer than most soft summer fruits, often 2 to 3 weeks at room temperature without spoiling, which is unusual for something this delicate looking. That's 15 fruits worth seeking out this August, from backyard staples like peaches and watermelon to genuinely rare finds like pawpaws and ground cherries. If you grow any of these yourself, or you've got a favorite way to eat one, drop it in the comments. I read every one. And if this helped you figure out what to look for at the market this week, hit subscribe, because next month we're covering what's coming into season for fall. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.